So welcome everyone, we'll get started. It's great to see you checking in the chat from all over, a lot down south and Montreal, and I'm sure even farther flung. It's just wonderful, wonderful to see you all. My name is Cantor Lizzie Shammash, and I am coming to you from Philadelphia. I live and teach and sit on Lenape land with gratitude to our those who have held this land before us. This is Online Jewish Yoga Studio. We're here every Monday, and if you're here for the very first time, a very special welcome. Today's props are going to be a blanket, maybe even 2 blankets you might want, and a chair is optional. We're going to do a very long relaxation as part of our practice today, and especially if your low back bothers you in any way, it can be really nice to put your lower legs up on the chair. So you might want to have that. So if you've been with us these 4 weeks of the Shofar Project, you know that we have been looking at Shemitah. Oh, wait. Before we start, I would like to just share one announcement from the Institute. And that is, well, 2 announcements. Next week, in observance of Labor Day and of course Rosh Hashanah, there will be no class on Monday. And the second is, please join us for a very special retreat on October 10th. It's online with 2 masterful teachers, Rabbi Sheila Peltz-Weinberg and Lama Professor John McCransky. Adi is going to put the link into the chat. There it is now, and also it'll come after class, so you can check it out. Sheila's work is incredible, and her alliance with John McCransky in the last few years has been very special to her, and we're lucky she's going to bring it to us. So back to us here today. We've been investigating the laws of Shemitah, of rest and release and freedom in the 7th year of the cycle, which will be coming up this year. The 7th year of sabbatical asks us to release our control over the planet, over agriculture, over the earth, letting the land lie fallow, and over other human beings in power structures and relationships, and also releasing ourselves and others from habits, behaviors, physical, mental, emotional, and systems, complete systems of injustice and oppression. So it's a big ask. And we've been kind of investigating physically levels of release in the body and letting go and awareness. So let's start our practice. It's going to be, we're going to do a little bit standing today, and then I'm going to offer some more teaching. And then we're going to do a long guided relaxation to really let ourselves settle as we finish out this week before Rosh Hashanah. So that's going to be the trajectory. Let's get started. We'll start standing. So find a comfortable mountain pose. Feet maybe hip width apart. And find those 4 corners of your feet, inner and outer heel, ball mound of the big toe, out to the ball mound of the little toe. Just feel the earth beneath you. Feel yourself meeting the mat and meeting the earth, and feel the earth coming up to meet you. You might just rock a little bit side to side. And then find that center line. And if your tailbone continued down, you'd find that length right into the earth, grounding you through the central line of your body, through the spine and the central nervous system. So as you press those feet down and allow the floor to meet you, also send the crown of your head up, skyward. Feel the breath coming in and feel the breath going out. We'll begin with a little bit of warm up for the joints. So just easily starting to bend the knees. just with some ease, a slight bend, feeling that through the ankles, the heels, and the knees. And with an easiness through the knees, pick up one foot and then the other foot, just rolling through the foot. And finding some openness, again, through the ball of the foot, through the whole sole of the foot, through the ankle. And then taking some circles, one leg, one direction, and then the other direction. Doesn't matter which one you begin with. Just circle the foot, open up all sides of the ankle, little pointing and flexing. Feeling your balance, and then coming over to the other side. Take circles. You can always take a hand to the wall or to a chair, to something near you if you need some assistance with balance. Circling that ankle both directions, and then a little point and flex. Maybe get a little snap, crackle, pop. That's okay. Just letting those joints open up a little. And then once again, coming to this little bit of knee bending. And let the breath circulate freely, move freely in and out. And then take the hands to the kneecaps. Give a little bit of warmth by just massaging a little bit in circles, a little bit of contact, palm to knee. Give it a rub. You might draw the feet a little closer together as you take the knees around in a circle. And then the other way. Just bringing the knees forward and around. Then another little tap to the kneecaps. And then we'll move it up to the hips. Just letting the hips move side to side for a moment. Shifting one side to the other side. Let the ankles be easy, the knees be easy. And then we'll start to take the hips in a circle, just like you're moving through a big vat of molasses or circling a hula hoop really, really slowly. And the torso might get involved, coming forward and coming back. You can begin to coordinate the breath, inhaling as the torso comes back and the hips go forward, and exhaling as the torso comes forward and the hips go back. And then the other direction, start to move the hips. You can take the circles small or really wide or somewhere in the middle. Just starting to land in this body. Moda ani lefanecha. Really grateful this morning, this day, for this embodiment. And then coming to stillness. And just pause and feel how you're doing in the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Anything different than just a moment ago. And then we'll move to the wrists, making circles, little flamenco hands, letting the fingers spread wide. And the other direction. And let the whole hand be involved as you circle through the hands and open the wrists. Make fists, squeeze in, and then open, flex through the wrists, palms out. And once again, fists and come in. Open up the top of the wrists and then flex the wrists, open the palms. And then shake it out a little. And then the elbows. Just any way creatively that you want to work through the elbows. bending, straightening. And feel some ease. Bring some ease into the elbows. And let that ease begin where the collarbones meet each other right under the throat, and continue out towards the elbows, all the way out towards the fingers. And then we'll come to the shoulders, taking them back either one at a time or both together, circling. Just again, be creative. You can even get the rib cage involved a little bit as you move. Just allowing some freedom through those shoulders. They come up towards the ears and then down the back. And then you might want to include the whole arm in a bit of a backstroke, leading with the hand or with the elbow. Feeling those shoulders begin to open. And then as you're ready, give it a little shake out through the whole body. And then pause. Once again, mountain pose. Keep the eyes open. Take the focus out in front of you at eye level. Let the gaze be soft. And again, notice how you feel. Now we're going to engage the breath nice and lightly, doing a sun breath, sun arms, which means inhaling as we take the arms out and up, and they could be very easy or they could be extended, however you like. And then exhale as we bring the arms down. And back to our sides. And inhale as you take the arms out and up. Maybe just shoulder height, or maybe out in front of you if the shoulders are bothering you. And exhale as we bring the arms down. So all we're trying to do is gently coordinate breath and movement as we inhale up and exhale down. You don't have to follow my words exactly. However your breath is occurring for you in its own cycle. You're going to inhale as the arms come up. Maybe you even feel the ribs swing wide. And exhale as the arms come down. A few more times in your own breath, in your own time. Just feeling the lusciousness as we can drop in and let the breath meet the body, meet the movement, and hold us. Contain us in mindful awareness. And then as you complete your next exhale, come to pause. We're going to take a couple of roll downs. So I'm just showing you from the side so that you can see my spine, but you don't need to turn to the side. We'll inhale here in mountain pose. And as you exhale, take the chin toward the chest. And as you continue your exhale, start to roll down one vertebra at a time, letting the head be heavy. And you can pause wherever you like. That might be forearms to your thighs. It might be rolling all the way down, hanging down in a ragdoll. When you get to the bottom of your roll, take an inhale here. Feel the breath, fill the back ribs. And as you exhale, drop the tailbone, draw the belly towards the spine, and begin to roll up, stacking one vertebra on the next, going really slowly, one by one. And you can stop anywhere you like, where you might feel some tension and want to breathe into it. Just pause and breathe. And when you get to the top, take an inhale. And we begin again on the exhale, chin to the chest, rolling down. Slowly, slowly. When you get to the bottom of your roll down, you might take hold of opposite arms and let those forearms give a little bit of weight, a little bit of density to letting the torso hang. And lengthen and open, you might swing a little bit side to side. Take as much time as you like here. And eventually we're going to settle down to the floor to a seated position, or you might choose to sit up on a chair. And make your way to a comfortable seat with a tall spine. So as I said, we've been looking these last 4 weeks during the Shofar project in various ways and through beautiful essays by my amazing colleagues, beautiful essays on Shemitah. And if you haven't had a chance to look at them and review them as they've been coming into your inbox, you can certainly go back, and I encourage you to do so. They're very, very beautiful. And this week I'm drawing from the work of Rabbi Miriam Klotz, who shared a very, very powerful essay with us. In Shemitah, in this idea of release, this idea, as we talked about in Deuteronomy, of tashmet et yadcha, release your hand, open your hand. We're really trying to come into a profound and prolonged sense of releasing the ego, releasing the idea that we are the creator, that we have power over the earth, over other people, over the land, really understanding that it's God's creation and it goes back to God. And in order to do that, we need to really settle ourselves into our bodies, don't we? In order to look at these very deep-seated attachments. I was thinking of the word deep-seated, and for a second I couldn't remember, is it deep-seated, like your seat, or seeded, like a seed? And I was pretty sure it's seat, and it is, but it's really both. Attachments that come from our seat, from the center of our pelvis, the base of our spine, and also from that seed really deep, deep in the body. These things like fear and shame and ego and resistance and denial, those are the things that we're trying to get to and dismantle during this coming year. And in order to do so, we need to find a profound openness, spaciousness in the body. And that's what I've been trying to help cultivate for us. So I share with you a few words from Rabbi Miriam Klotz. In this last week, we utilized the instructions of mindful-based Shemitah practice to help us lean into a clear-eyed investigation of the social and economic structures in which we are embedded, to probe more fully into what each of us is called to let go of for the coming year. For those of us living in the United States of America, mindful Shemitah practice calls us to step back from our enmeshment in the systems of social and economic structures which, though we did not create them, we now inhabit and which inform our thoughts, speech, and actions. To extricate ourselves from habitual cultural conditioning is just what we are called to do in the coming year, for the common good, towards a good that is more equitable and sustainable. We're asked to let go of attachment for a time to our roles or identities in these systems, and to bring awareness to all that arises in the process of release that is Shemitah. The instruction is clear. Release your hold on the land and on other creatures, including human beings. Let the land rest. Let others be free of their debts to you. Stop. Let it go. In other words, release your hold on the systemic structures that govern your sense of entitlement to ownership, acquisition, and privileges afforded to you by your station within the system. Where you do not hold privileges of ownership, wealth, or status within that system, you're equally called to release your attachments to the socio-political definitions that inform your sense of self. Remember, you are free. You may be shaped by those systems, but your soul is neither created by nor identified ultimately within these humanly created structures. Shemitah laws are designed to foster greater equity. They're addressed most overtly to those who own land or social or economic status. Yet these laws also speak to those who are in debt, who do not usually walk the land with entitlement, safety, or freedom. It speaks of and to those in poverty. They speak to each and every person on the land and suggest that all are entitled in equal measure to respect, rest, dignity, and agency. In the Shemitah mode of seeing, and so relinquishing, we are all more free, and the sacredness of life is more fully revealed. So, I'm taking our practice today on these sentences, really. Remember, you are free. Remember, you are free. And all are entitled, including you, including me, including each of us, in equal measure to respect, rest, dignity, and agency. So it starts with finding this freedom, this respect, this dignity in ourselves. So we're going to lie on our backs. You might take a blanket under your head, or you might take a blanket to cover you, or both. You might lie out flat like a traditional shavasana, or you might choose to take your legs to the chair and let the lower legs rest as you come down and rest the back of your head. Take your hands to the back of your head, bend your elbows, take your head in your hands, and as much as is possible, lift your head up an inch or two off your blanket or your mat. As much as possible, let your head just rest into your hands. Just let it rest. Just let it release. Allow it to be held. And then pull just a little bit away from you, lengthening the back of your neck. Letting your shoulders release a little, and then lay the head back down. Just let be. You can take your hands and rest them as you like, maybe with the palms facing down on your belly or on your rib cage, or again, more like a traditional shavasana, extended out from the body with the palms turned up. Allow your eyes to close if that feels safe and comfortable. And if you're wearing glasses, remove your glasses. Let the breath come and go. Breathing in, I'm aware of my breath coming in. And breathing out, I'm aware of my breath going out. With each exhale, allow your body to rest, to drop, to soften, to melt. Breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. And bring your attention to your feet. And as you rest your attention on your feet, notice if there's anything that you feel. Any tingling, any temperature, any sensation. Breathing in, I'm aware of my feet. Breathing out, I smile to my feet. Bring your attention to the ankles. What do you feel? Maybe you feel nothing in particular, and that's just fine. That's great. Maybe the feet and ankles are in pain. You can send them love. And maybe they're totally free of pain, and you can be grateful. And breathing in, I'm aware of my ankles. And breathing out, I smile to my ankles. And bring the awareness to the lower legs, the shins, the calves. And breathing in, I'm aware of my shins and my calves. And breathing out, I smile to my shins and my calves. Soften the lower leg. Bring your attention to your knees, your right knee, your left knee, front to back. Breathing in, I'm aware of my knees. Breathing out, I smile to my knees. Bring your attention to your upper legs, left and right. The fronts of your thighs, backs of your thighs, outer and inner. What do you sense? What do you feel? Breathing in, I'm aware of my upper legs. Breathing out, I smile to my upper legs. Bring your attention to your pelvis, hips, low back, low belly. Organs of the lower abdomen. Whole pelvic bowl. Breathing in, I'm aware of my pelvic bowl. And breathing out, I smile to my pelvic bowl. Bring your attention to the middle of your torso, the rib cage, the mid-back, diaphragm, lungs, heart. Breathing in, I'm aware of my torso. And breathing out, I smile at my torso. And bring your attention to your upper torso, upper chest, shoulders, collarbones, shoulder blades. See where you can soften, where you can melt. Breathing in, I'm aware of my upper torso. Breathing out, I smile to my upper torso. And as we go through the body, just grateful for all of these miraculous parts of the body that help us function. There might also be places of ache or tension or pain that speak to us. We can notice any resistance, any hardening, any aggression or frustration. And with that smiling of the exhale, just trying to find some compassion, offer some compassion to any body parts that are in pain, that we might be struggling with. And bring your attention to your arms, from the shoulders to the upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, fingers. Inhaling, I hold in awareness my arms. And exhaling, I smile to my arms. Bringing the attention now to the neck and the head. The back of the neck, the front of the neck, the throat, the back of the head in contact with the earth, the scalp, all the muscles of the face. eyes, nose, ears, mouth, sensory organs. Inhaling, I'm aware of my neck and my head. Exhaling, I smile to my neck, my head, my face. And breathing in, I'm aware that I'm breathing in. And breathing out, I'm aware that I'm breathing out. And now bringing awareness to the whole body. And breathing in, I'm aware of my body. Pulsing, moving, breathing. Breathing out, I smile to my body. And breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body, heart, mind, being. Breathing out, I smile to my whole self. Breathing in, I know that I am free. Breathing out, I rest in this freedom. Breathing in, I'm aware of this body and this breath. Breathing out, I send respect to my breath and my whole body. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole self. And breathing out, I allow this whole self to rest in freedom and dignity. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I smile to my whole body. Begin to deepen your breath as you bring awareness back to the surface. You might wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to wake up from the inside out. And bring your body into a yawn stretch. You might take the arms overhead and give a stretch, or you might draw the knees toward the chest. And then slowly take all the time in the world. Make your way over to one side and pause there, using your upper arm as a pillow for your head. And as you're ready, begin to press up to a comfortable seat. Notice how you feel. After these minutes, this little period of deep rest, of deep release, of touching down into Shmita consciousness. Rabbi Klotz in her essay reminds us, warns us, reminds us that seeking the work of social justice, economic justice, racial equity and justice is very hard work within ourselves. A lot of fear can arise, a lot of resistance. She says, so when you notice the mind, heart, or hand closing in fear, you might practice bringing your attention gently back to the present moment. Soften around the resistance you experience. Allow it to be held in spaciousness, in loving awareness, and in kindness. You might invite the resistance to rest in a sense of divine love, or human love, or ultimate wholeness and care. Notice all that is okay right now, all that is enough. Extend that open heart and hand to your own being when you're in need of reassurance. So take your hands for a moment, draw the fingers down, and make two fists. Feel what it feels like to close the hand into a fist. And now open the fist, open the palm, soften and open. Tashmet et yadecha. Release your hand. And then bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. A few breaths as a khatima, as a seal on our practice of today, our practice together for Elul. A few breaths holding yourself in loving care. Allowing yourself to let go of whatever needs to fall away at this time. Breathing in, I'm aware that I am breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware that I am breathing out. And as you're ready, allow the hands to release and allow the eyes to flutter open. Thank you for joining me today. Shavua Tov and Chodesh Tov, and it's time to say Shana Tova. We don't meet next Monday. And a tip for the road, since I won't see you for 2 weeks, a little bit of Shemitah consciousness practice for you I want to offer. If you have any balls around your house, tennis balls are great. These soft, squishy balls are great. You lie down on them and you can put them in various parts of your body and do some self-massage and encouragement of release. You can put it under the shoulder blade. You can do the hips, the buttocks, the low back. This is sort of a squishy ball. It's a little bigger. It's very generous, very easy. The tennis ball gets in a little more to knotty places. I go bigger and smaller down to squash balls and stuff like that too. But maybe you have a practice of this. If you do keep up with it, it's wonderful. And if you don't, I offer that tip for the road. So we have a few minutes now to share any reactions, any